All right, so this is the CD of Yesterday and Today from the Beatles US albums box set. And I'm really grateful that they put the butcher cover on it, like it ought to be, because this was butchered. It was made from pieces of Rubber Soul and Revolver. Many of these tracks had come out as singles. Day Tripper and We Can Work It Out was from the Rubber Soul sessions, but it was always a single. And this has become my favorite Beatles album. None of my favorite Beatles songs are on here, but this just has such a whole bunch of songs I really like on it. And it's a shame that Rain and Paperback Writer didn't get put on this. But the advertisement gave me the impression that it had both covers, and it turned out it did. Inside the slipcase was the replacement cover, which I don't like as much, but at least we got it. So let's go through the tracks once again. So it starts off with Drive My Car from Rubber Soul. That's followed by I'm Only Sleeping from Revolver. Now, the mono and stereo versions of this are both included on the CD, and I'm Only Sleeping is the one that sounds the most different between mono and stereo. For the most part, both versions sound equally good to me, and in fact, I've got a single that has both mono and stereo versions of Paperback Writer and Rain on it, and when I'm playing in my car, which doesn't have the best speaker system, a lot of times I can't figure out which version I'm hearing based on sound. But with my good home stereo, it does sound different. Anyway, third track is Nowhere Man from Rubber Soul. Drive My Car was not available on a single, but Nowhere Man was. And then from Revolver, we have Dr. Robert. Now, when this first came out, the Revolver tracks were not in true stereo, they were in duophonic stereo, where they put all the highs on one channel and all the lows on the other. And I would have liked to have had that since I already have that. But we didn't get that. We got true stereo. Okay, next is Yesterday, the title track, which is from the Help album. And that's followed by the B-side of the single of Yesterday, which was also from the Help album, Act Naturally. And when I first started listening to this, I thought the Ringo tracks were the weakest part of this, but they'd make a good change of pace. And that is the end of side one of the LP, but this is a CD, so it keeps going. So track 7 is from Revolver, And Your Bird Can Sing, which is followed by a Rubber Soul track that didn't get put on a single, which is If I Needed Someone. This is, I think, one of my favorite George Harrison tracks. It's really good. This is followed by We Can Work It Out, which is from the Rubber Soul sessions, but it was just on a single. It never was on the actual album. That's followed by another Rubber Soul song, What Goes On, sung by Ringo. And finally it ends with Day Tripper. Again, from the Rubber Soul sections, but it was on a single, not on the album. And as said, this has both the mono and stereo versions on it, and they both sound equally good. So, highly recommend Yesterday and Today.